Blame Truth here, the Godfather himself, bringing you another video, and this is Cold War. This is not Modern Who Cares 3, and I want to explain why. In my last video, I was talking about skill-based matchmaking and whatnot. We're going to get into that in just a second. This is going to be like part 2, because, man, the switch flipped on me, and things just went south very quickly. I want to ask you guys to please rate this video. I want this to get pushed out to as many people as possible, as many potential MW3 customers as possible, because we're going to be covering skill-based matchmaking. And right away, you can see that I'm facing, this is an old video I posted about 2 years ago, but I want to bring this gameplay to light again, because this is me facing like top 1, top 2% players in Cold War. And you'll see me trying to use fun guns at the start, and then after a few deaths, I'm like, well, there's no point. Let's just use the MP5, which was my personal go-to try-hard weapon in Cold War. I got the top 1% stats in Cold War playing solo. That does not mean I won a lot of matches, because the outcomes of the matches are pretty much rigged. The game is going to try to keep you at 1 KD and 1 win-loss, like just even 1. And if you're playing solo, you really can't control the win-loss. It's going to stick you with the worst players in the lobby on top of skill-based matchmaking, putting you against good players on the other team. So I have to kind of play sweaty. Now, I'm showing you this mainly because I want to show you that, yeah, I'm pretty good at Call of Duty. I'm not the best in the world. I'm not a pro player by any means, but I've been playing this stuff for so long that, like, I'm good at the game. And don't say that, like, I can't hang at the top or whatever, because I did it in Cold War. You know, I did it in Cold War. I never want to do it again, but because it's miserable up there. But I play to win the game. You know, I don't try hard. I'm not a try hard, though. I don't play to... In Cold War, I did because I felt like I was forced to, but I don't play with just the best stuff all the time. I've always played Call of Duty, and anyone who's watched my channel for any amount of time can vouch for this. I've always played with variety in mind, with fun in mind. True story here. I started back in Call of Duty 4, okay? Call of Duty 4 back in 2007. Back then, I was probably good enough to be considered a pro player. Just playing casually, you know, like I never bothered playing it though. I played local tournaments and stuff, and I won a few, but I never bothered playing like actual MLG stuff and doing actual tournaments, because the game was simply not balanced for competitive play. Out of the box, it was not. You know, the M16 was the best weapon in the game on consoles by a large margin. I did not feel like playing laser tag on non-servers. You know, like we had like hosted connections back then. Like, I'm not doing that. You know, it wasn't fun for me. Call of Duty, pretty much, I mean, if you really think about it, aside from servers, not much has changed with that. Like, I don't really see this as a competitively balanced game. The closest it's come is Black Ops 2. And outside of that, really, no, none of the other ones are remotely competitive. Like, they're not remotely balanced for competitive. I want to bring up skill-based matchmaking, though, because I've been playing on a new account on the Modern Who Cares 3 beta, and I've been having a pretty good time, actually. But I recognize that skill-based matchmaking is going to kick in eventually, and literally right after I made yesterday's video, it kicked in. And let me tell you guys something right now. Let me tell you guys something. This is not my account where I'm playing like a G Fuel crackhead on Cold War here. This is like just a new account. So I played 10 matches in the Modern Who Cares 3 beta, and the skill-based matchmaking was arguably worse than how it is in Cold War here on this account. And if it's that bad on a new account, 10 matches in, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when I log on to my account I used in this Cold War gameplay, for example. It tracks everything, by the way. If you wonder why you play a new Call of Duty game and it's still sweaty from the start, that's why. It tracks you all the way back from when you first made your account on Modern Warfare 2019. I swear to you, it's stronger than ever. I can't prove it, you know, it's just a feeling, but if you can back me up in a comment, like if you have a similar experience, let me know. I swear to you, each year, this shit gets stronger and stronger. I'm going to explain what it is if you're completely new to the whole idea, and I'll put timestamps in the video description, but I kind of felt a little bit of relief, though, with Vanguard, because Vanguard had Blitz. So it seems like in the big team battle modes with like a lot of players, it's way less strict how the skill-based matchmaking works, and it makes sense. It'd be matching you forever if it was strict. So Vanguard had a little bit of relief there, but every other Call of Duty, from Modern Warfare 2019 to Cold Snore to Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, it just seems like it gets worse and worse. So I had a little bit of hope. That with Sledgehammer's new game, they were going to dial it back a little bit, because it was kind of dialed back with Vanguard, although not overtly. You know, it was kind of just like, it has to be dialed back to have that many players on a server and it match up quickly. So I thought, like, maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Literally right after I made yesterday's video, it was night and day. It was night and day. It was like a switch flipped. There was no more me getting a juggernaut and saving the team from a sudden loss. The game recognized like how I was playing, and the game recognized that I was popping off just one too many times. And the next thing I know, it's just struggling to go, 30 and 25 on a game of headquarters or whatever, and everyone in the lobby has the same exact score. And there's people on the other team telling me to kill myself. And I'm not kidding. I actually have a clip of that.
Confirming next hardpoint. Stand by.
Incoming!
Hardpoint compromised. Secure the area.
Kill yourself.
Target area. Update to the hardpoint.
Man, look, guys, I don't want to steer you wrong here. I don't think I'm even gonna buy this game, and I want to first commend Sledgehammer, and I don't do this often, I don't. I want to commend Sledgehammer for the great job they've done with Modern Warfare 3. The actual game, if you just take out every system on the back end, like the actual game itself, it's great. It really is. I think the gameplay and how they did everything, and the smoothness and the way the game feels, I think it's great. It is great. The way they're talking to us on Twitter, how fast they're updating the game, how fast they're changing things. It's phenomenal. It's something we should have got. Don't get me wrong. It's something we should have got like 5 or 6 years ago, but I'll take it. Better late than never. I do want to commend them and give them props and give them credit where credit's due. Modern Warfare 3, at its core, is a great game. And it makes me all the more sad that I have to say this. I will not be purchasing this Call of Duty. This is the first Call of Duty since 2007. I will not be buying. And truthfully, I hope you guys join me. If you're watching this video, I hope you join me. Unless something changes and they at least address it and explain how the system works and stop hiding it, I can't see myself buying it. Maybe if Zombies is like the best thing ever, but again, I don't think it's worth $70 in its current state. And I got gameplay guys that'll get gameplay for me, so I don't even need to play it. But like, I don't want another year of trying my ass off and not getting anything for it. It's not a system that rewards anyone with any amount of skill. It's a system that aims to just bleed money dry from morons. In fact, the game's better the worse you do. It truly is. The less you try to win, the better. And at that point, what is the point? If I can't play to win the game, if I don't want to play to win the game because I know I'm just going to have a harder time after, then what is the point? The whole system needs to be redone. If I got like more COD points, if I got any COD points, hell, or something like that for winning matches or performing well or getting a high score in that match, then it would be okay. I'd actually be okay with it. If it prioritized connection, that's another thing. And if you guys think I'm just complaining because I don't want to face good competition, that is not it. I get nothing for facing this good competition, and my connection gets worse. And then the higher skill you get, at a certain point, players don't get better, players get cheaper. At a certain point, you start facing more cheaters because there's cheaters in those high-end brackets, and their anti-cheat has been shown to be a big pile of shit. On top of all this, the connections. Like, if I'm facing a clone of myself, we're about equal, and he has 100 ping and I have 150 ping, who the hell do you think is going to win the gunfights when we're matched up, one-on-one in the game? If I have 50 ping and somebody else has 150 ping, again, who the hell do you think is going to win the gunfight every single encounter we have? When we're that close in skill, no question, I will. And the former, he will. And that's what I'm saying. This game is not meant to be competitive. It's not balanced for competitive. Public matches are the Wild West. That's what brought me to Call of Duty, and that's why I picked it over playing Gears of War and Halo even, because those two games had casual and ranked. And while I did enjoy casual more in Gears of War and Halo 3 back in the day, back in like 2007, I'm talking Gears of War OG, Gears of War 1, you know, Halo 3 2007 edition, not the Master Chief Collection. But that's why I chose Call of Duty 4 back in the day, because it was like ranked and casual in one. There was progression in the casual mode. That's what brought me to the dance, and that's what brought most people to the dance. Someone was saying in a comment, well, what's the alternative to skill-based matchmaking? We don't need a fucking alternative. We don't need it. Call of Duty survived, not just survived, but thrived without it for like a decade plus. You know, literally, we never needed it. It's literally there to make Activision money. It's not there for any other purpose. In fact, it hurts player retention. Guarantee it. And if you don't believe me, look at the Steam charts for just Call of Duty on Steam. Modern Warfare, Roman numeral 2, and Warzone 2. Thick skill-based matchmaking, the player counts dropped dramatically pretty much every single month to month. I'm not lying. Look at it on Steam, and you can say it's just Steam, that's fine, but it's the only metric we can track. And I kind of brought this up before the game came out. I'm like, man, I'm not going to buy this. It's just an update. And it is just an update. It still is, but it's a good update. You know, it's a good update. I can't lie on that front as far as the gameplay goes, but I'm not buying it. I have gameplay guys that'll give me gameplay. I just cannot see myself purchasing this. Unless something changes between now and launch, I have to cancel my pre-order, because the skill-based matchmaking is that egregious and disgusting. And it's worse than that, actually. It's worse than that. Let's get into what it is if you're completely not in the know here, right? Most modern games have a system on the back end where it's going to match you with players around your skill level. How it deduces that is up to the algorithm they use, but that's essentially it. On paper, it sounds fine. You know, there's nothing really wrong with it on paper. And most of the dev teams and most of the studios will openly talk about it and talk about how it works. I keep referencing Dead by Daylight when I do talk about how to do it right. I think Dead by Daylight does it right. Been playing Dead by Daylight since late April. And at no point do I ever feel like the games are rigged. At no point do I ever feel like I'm being punished for doing better. I feel like, I mean, if you told me it didn't have skill-based matchmaking, I'd probably just believe you outright, you know. But the devs do openly talk about it, and they talk about how it works, and it's just not a very strict system. And I think that really, really bad players are quote-unquote protected from what? I don't know. But, you know, if they have to have it, fine. Protect the people that are just terrible if you have to, that's fine. I think Dead by Daylight does it right, though. The thing about Call of Duty is it does everything wrong. When I first started playing Call of Duty 4 in 2007, I popped it in, and I had just gamer skill in general, so I was able to kind of pop off and have like a 1.5 KD. But the more I played and the better I got, I saw my KD rise. I saw this progression in how I performed. I enjoyed the game more because I learned little nuances and little techniques that helped me improve. And by improving, I could improve my gameplays and improve my scores each individual match. And I would do that with every Call of Duty. Every new Call of Duty would come out, I'd have like a little learning period to kind of figure the game out, because they all do play slightly differently and they all have different maps, and you got to learn things, relearn things, even though they're based on, you know, they're basically the same as when they started. But ever since Modern Warfare 2019, you simply cannot do that. Yes, you can up your KD. Yes, you can get better stats. But if you're playing solo especially, your win-loss is not going to go up. If you're playing solo especially, you're going to have to play like the biggest shitbird. You're going to have to play unskilled. And that may sound ridiculous. You're going to see people on here reverse boosting and bunny hopping and destroying children. Like, don't believe their lies. It's complete bullshit. I'm not going to name any names, but one of them, you know, their name rhymes with like Maze Crag. Like, yeah, you just don't believe it. You know, it's just not real life. Marian Ravage is another one. They reverse boost, you know. Here's the thing. I reverse boosted in Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 because the game is abysmal if you don't do that. Here's the thing, though. The game is still abysmal if you do that. I don't want to have to do that to have fun. And here's the kicker. This is crazy. People will say like, "What? You don't have fun unless you're beating up noobs?" No, not at all. I don't have fun when I have the same experience every single match. I don't have fun when I feel like the matchmaking's rigged against me. I don't have fun knowing that no matter how good I get, it will never be good enough. I don't have fun. I don't have fun going to the gym, lifting progressively heavier weight and not seeing any change in my physique, for a real world example, which I used in my last video. And yeah, I don't like to reverse boost because it's boring. I don't want to beat up on noobs all the time. It's literally boring. There's no challenge in that, and I don't like it. At the same time, I don't like the matchmaking to be rigged and put me against harder competition and me not get anything for it. If I'm working harder, I should get more. It's basic like economics. It's basic just, you know, basic human nature. If you work harder, you should get more for your hard work. It's how we're wired. I'm someone, although I've never been a tryhard per se, I'm not going to use the best stuff all the time unless, again, it was Cold War because I was trying to prove a point. I'm someone that's aims to just have fun first and foremost. If I get into a sweaty lobby against good competition, I'll whip out my best stuff. I'll whip out the tryhard pants. Most of the time, though, I'm just running around using variety and leveling up. And that's how Call of Duty has always been, which it's so confusing why they continue to keep this system in play, especially since it's not in COD Mobile. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. COD Mobile's got all the casual players. I don't know if we're just some experiment on console. I really do not. I'm getting a little long-winded here, but the skill-based matchmaking is actually that bad. It's worse. It feels worse because on a shitty game like Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, it's just something else to throw into the fire. On a game that's actually well made like Modern Warfare 3, it's so deflating. You know, it's just like all the potential in the world just squandered, gone, because Activision is terrible. They're a terrible company. And I fear that the game is only going to get worse post-launch because, like I said, it's good now. This is a live service game for the rest of the year. You know for a fact they're going to add in like pay-to-win bundles. It's just a matter of time. I keep saying it, but the gear system, it's just going to be pay-to-win. They've already done it. They've already done it before this gear system. I see what they're doing a mile away. I've been playing this franchise way too long. I know Bobby Kotick. Like, I know his Kotick tactics. You know, like, it's just a terrible system. But guys, this gameplay is coming to a close. I can't see myself purchasing this. Now, I will say this. Microsoft did officially acquire Activision Blizzard. As of today. I hope to God they at the very least, acknowledge skill-based matchmaking. Just acknowledge it. That's all I'm asking for. Acknowledge it and explain how it works. Be honest, be truthful, and be forthright with your customer base. Stop treating us like idiots. They are the only company that will not talk about it. It's disgusting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. No one should have a worse connection for doing better in a video game. No one should have to play cheaters because they've done too well in a video game. And I can go on and on. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.
Do some parting advice.